Hi guys, I'm Faye Louise.
And I'm Jossie Yandel, and welcome to Now That's What I Call a Talk Show.
We, of course, are still abiding by the rules and we are in isolation, being good as gold, aren't we, Jossie?
I know it feels like day 107. I think I've lost count of the days now.
Honestly, give it a few more weeks, I will have grown a beard. It's happening. So, of course, first of all, how are you, Jossie?
I'm all right. It just
Oh, you
seems like
sound
it's gone
down, you
on.
sound down, you sound down. Now, what's up?
It's just felt like it's gone on forever, and like going through this actually on your own is not really very nice. I'm fortunate in a kind of roundabout way that I can still go to work, so I'm still getting out the house a little bit. And I'm aware that there's people out there who can't leave the house at all and maybe have nobody to speak to. So it must be very, very hard for them. But I'm finding what I'm going through, it's not that great. But I just keep thinking to myself, it's going to end. There is going to be an end to it. And every day we're in it, we're a day closer to it ending. We just don't know how long that's going to go on for yet. But I'm lucky I've got you. I've got my family, that I can talk to when I need to. But isolation on your own is pants.
But it can be taken up by lots of interesting things to watch. I have been watching so much TV and movies, especially The Tiger King, Lion King, whatever it's called. They are insane. Have you been watching it, Jossie?
Oh my God, I binged it. Like, you know me, it normally takes me a few days to watch something. I watched it in a day. Like, sat down all 7 episodes one day. It was bizarre.
Bizarre.
That is the only way I can describe it. Bizarre. Absolutely bonkers. Just bonkers. From the start of from the series to the end, it was just like every episode was just like, and there's something more and something else and
Can
something
we
else.
agree? Her husband is in their type, like their lion bellies. Her husband.
She fed him to the tiger. I think Carol Baskins knows what she's doing. She's got everybody working for free. She started out as a breeder herself of big cats, but now rescues them, but is still breeding them. She's just rescuing them. And because that's now a rescue and a sanctuary, she's getting all these people just working for nothing.
It is crazy. I mean, and they are all working for nothing and doing everything for free. And then that guy and all of his boyfriends
and then we don't.
I mean,
you haven't watched it.
They weren't, but it wasn't pay. It was gay for tiger. Gay for tiger.
If you haven't watched it, just put your fingers in your ears for a little bit. But yeah, so they weren't even gay, like you said. His boyfriends weren't even gay. Insane.
It was definitely next level for me. I found it so interesting when it kept going back to her, and her story was like, so this is how it was so rehearsed. I was in shock.
Oh, I know. Well, they asked her about like what had happened to her husband, and they showed a clip from like 20 back years ago, and they asked her the same question, like today or whatever it was filmed last year, whatever, and she just said word for word exactly what she'd said 20 years ago. I thought, oh, that lass is she's rehearsed that. She's rehearsed that line. He went to the Tigers.
Absolutely. He did. He went to the Tigers. I mean, obviously, we've got to touch upon COVID-19. The death toll has went into the thousands.
It has, yes. It's 1,408. And yes, the number's going up, but the number the past 2 days of people dying has actually gone down. So it's only the past 2 days, so let's not jump ahead of ourselves. But it was 209, I believe, yesterday, and it's 180 today. So it's going to, even though the number's going up, the number of people dying is going down. Of course,
I think the biggest thing that we're clearly seeing from this, that COVID-19 does not discriminate. It does not matter where you come from, how you identify, or the color of your skin. If you get infected, you either struggle and survive or you die. It's the simplest of options and the most cruelest of options. But hopefully, at the end of this, we'll all realise if we come together as a society and a species, we can get through anything. But I hope this doesn't once again just divide us more by who's to blame and he did and they didn't, all that nonsense. It just really is just another power of dividing us all. But I feel very much more together as a community.
Yeah, weirdly, even though like we can't see each other, I do think a lot of people are kind of like coming together. That was displayed the other night when everyone was clapping. That's the other night when everyone stood outside, and I wasn't expecting that. You know, I genuinely was not expecting people to do it, and they did in my street, and I know you said they did in yours. They did it
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, definitely.
So there is a sense of we're all in it together because we are like it's everybody. Everybody's going through the same thing.
Everyone's going through the same thing, and the thing that we need to remember, we're all going through this together. So what else have you been doing in your isolation? We have one hell of a show, guys. We have an amazing guest. We have the beautiful Duncan James. He'll be joining us very soon so we can get to know him a little bit better and to see what he's getting up to in isolation. What else have you been doing, Jossie?
Right, so Disney Plus knew what they were doing, didn't they?
Oh,
My God, they released that at the right time. I had a full Disney day yesterday, you know. I literally just lay on my, so I don't care, I'm 30 odd years old, I don't care. I sat on my sofa and I watched loads of Disney films. I watched The Muppets Treasure Island, laughed me back off to Cabin Fever. That's everyone in a few weeks' time, man. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. How have you been getting on, though?
just watching loads and loads of different films and shows. I watched a film yesterday called The Hunt, which was basically rich people taking people to this cabin area and like hunting them down. But this like kick-ass character was in play and she like kicked them all over and killed them. It was very cheesy, but it was very funny. Like it was a good film. And then I watched Hide and Seek with the girl who's the Joker's wife in the DC franchise.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's when she gets married and they've got to play this game as a family to become part of the family. And if you get the hide and seek card, the family then have to shoot you and kill you. So that was really interesting. But she plays the part perfectly. She was like hard as nails, you know, the usual character she does. And Jonathan's just said, "You're amazing. I love you both and support you 100%. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Well, if you love us and support us a bit more, you could just share this post as much as you can because we really want to get our episodes out there because our episodes are, of course, non-profit and just for fun. We do this just to have a laugh and to just give everyone that little bit of like, oh, we're not alone. These two crazy girls from up north are having a laugh with loads of different random people and really cool people. And I just think it's a really nice time for us because we've been doing this for 2 years to feel like we're actually doing something because a lot of our guests are sometimes friends or people we've worked with. So we do pull on those strings a little bit to get them on the show. But right now, this matters for everyone. I think everyone being able to watch interviews with people that have been around for years or are new on the scene or are in the mix of this kind of epidemic we're going on about. It was really nice for people who were just sat at home, maybe on their own like you are, Josie, to watch. Because I know if I was watching something like I do, it just cheered me up. Like I watch videos all the time and it just brightens my day up. And you're a total videoholic, as we know.
Yeah, yeah. I think it is the thing dominating the news. Like before we came on, guys, me and Faye were saying, is there anything else going on in the news? Is there anything else we can talk about? And it is literally wall to wall, corona, 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 corona. Everything is about corona. Even like it's everything's corona.
Let's move on to something a little bit better and invite our guest on today. We have, of course, Duncan, who will be joining us in a second. Let him just do his hair, sort himself out. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, guys? Hey, nice to see you.
You too. How's it going?
It's going okay. I mean, you know, there's not a lot we can do right now. We just have to stay in and keep safe and protect the NHS, which is the most important thing. And you know, we've got to all try to stay healthy as much as we can.
how have you been spending your time? How have you been keeping in touch with people, your family, your daughter? And do you have an isolation buddy, or are you doing this on your own?
So I'm in isolation with my mum. I'm at home with my mum, which is nice because I'm not alone, and it means she's not alone either. It's great because all we seem to be doing is cooking all the time, eating a
Oh,
lot.
lovely.
We're very lucky because where we live, out of our back garden, is the golf course, which has been closed, obviously. So it's been great for us. We can take the dog for a walk on the golf course, and it's completely empty, so we can get some fresh air at least. I just feel sorry for those people that are in like apartments or flats that can't even get out. It must be so frustrating. So I really, really, really do feel sorry for people like that, because it must be really, really hard. At least I've got a little sanctuary to be able to escape to. But yeah, we're just trying to watch as much Netflix as we can. I've been going on the House Party app loads. Have you guys got House Party?
We haven't
No, what
not
is
yet.
it? We've heard
What
about
is
it,
it?
but what is it?
So House Party app is an app which is a bit like this really. You can see you're FaceTiming with more than one person. So you can have all your friends in a room together, and they've got games on there. You can play Heads Up, you can play Trivia, and you can all play it together. It's really good fun actually. It's a House Party app. It's really fun. I was in there the other day with my friends from America. You remember the singer Anastasia?
Oh, yeah.
Name drop. I was in there with her, and we were just having a really good giggle. And then some of my friends joined in, some of her friends joined in, and before you knew it, there was like 8 of us in a room. And you see everybody's little face there, and you're just chatting to each other. It's really bizarre, but it's fun.
That is so cool. We'll definitely have to look into that. We've interviewed loads of drag queens on our show and worked with lots, and we can't not mention Priscilla that you were in as Mitzi. How did you find getting into drag all that time? And of course, Duncan, we all want to know, did you truly tuck?
Right. Can I just say, first of all, being in drag is the best thing I've ever done. It was so much fun. I went on from that show to play Frankenfurter in Rocky Horror, which was just me in a corset in fishnets and massive stilettos, which I just finished recently. And that was just the best role ever. So getting to kind of drag up, honestly, was so much fun, and it's so liberating. And one of my favorite TV shows is Drag Race, and I'm watching at the moment season 12 religiously. I'm just really annoyed that they haven't put Untucked yet on Netflix, which is
I know.
just mind-blowing.
No, it's not the
It's
same without
annoying.
Untucked.
But I tell you what, if they ever do a celebrity drag race, sign me up, because it would be like I'll be living my best life. It would be so much fun.
I could definitely see you at Celebrity Drag Race, 100%. Definitely.
I would be so up for that. I've been watching. Do you guys are you fans of RuPaul and Drag Race?
Oh yeah, we
Just
love
a little
RuPaul.
bit.
Who do you
We've
like
seen
on
every
season 12?
episode multiple
Who are
times.
you liking this season?
Ours have gone, which is really sad. We obviously love. Well, the lady Cherry Pie, who's obviously not in it at the end, has been a real great contender. So it's hard to watch.
I think she's been hilarious. She's been so funny.
Sherry's been a fantastic queen. It's such a shame what happened, but obviously they're having to take the disciplinary actions against, which I totally get. But you're right, it's such a shame because she is a great queen. My other favorites that have gone, I really love Dahlia Sin. I thought she was hot, so gorgeous. And I'm sad she was gone. But also, I think who's going to do really well this season, I think Gigi Good is going to go very far. And I think Jackie Cox is going to go very far.
Love Jackie Cox. And Britta, I think Britta's got something. I think she hasn't brought her full potential out yet, but I think she's got so much more to give.
I don't
Britta.
like her. She's one of my favourites in it. But I don't think she's going to get that far. I've just got a feeling. I think we might see a goodbye Britta in the next few weeks.
Oh.
I think so. She's not my favourite.
Right.
She isn't. She's not my favourite. So Duncan, obviously, we all got to know you when you were in Blue. Very successful career in the music industry. But what was your career highlight like in your music career?
I don't know. I've been very blessed. My career's been 19 years in this industry now, and I've been very lucky. I've never stopped working, whether it's been musical theatre or whether it's been stuff on television or whether it's been stuff with my band. I've been very lucky that I've always worked. And this is the first time in my career that I've actually just sat at home and twiddled my thumbs for years. So this is all very new to me. It's all very strange for me that I'm not doing anything. But I think to myself, everybody's in the same boat. You know, none of us are earning any money at the minute. The whole world has come to a standstill. And so many people have been moaning about it and worried about it, understandably. But my attitude is this: you know what? We are all staying put right now, but the planet is healing itself. The ozone layer is closing up. The pollution in the seas and the skies have stopped. There's wildlife come back. I heard today that there's dolphins being seen off the coast in Italy for the first time in years. And so there's all these plus points, like the rainforest is starting to regenerate. So all these positives that are coming out of it as well. And I think we all really fixate on the doom and gloom because the media are always talking about how many people have died today, which is terrible. But we've got to start trying to find the small bits of positive from this and hold on to that hope, because otherwise we just live in constant fear and constant dread, which is not good for anybody.
I've seen that. I've seen it all over the news, that different parts of the world seem to be, Mother Nature seems to be taking it back. And I think just look what happens when we stand still as a species and allow the earth to heal and not be just chasing the dollar or the money or the fame. Exactly. It's actually quite remarkable how much we do look upon ourselves and in a little bit disgust as a species, because we have destroyed what significantly is our only home.
Yeah, you're right, and I think this is a way the world is fighting back and saying, I need some time out, and we're all having to go back to basics, you know, and we're having to live a very basic life right now. But this is, I think, going to help the planet in the long run. And you know, it's awful what's happening, and it's so sad that all these people are losing their lives and people are getting really sick. And you know, my hat goes off to these key workers and the NHS people who are not only risking their own lives, but they're saving so many lives out there. And you know, we're doing this little thing at home in our luxury of our own homes, but there's thousands and thousands of doctors and nurses who are having to go to work every single day and you know, save people's lives. So I really take my hat off to these people who are just the forefront of the country right now and the world, and just doing the most to help everybody, which is just incredible. We're so lucky that there is these types of people that we have in our world that are going above and beyond their call to protect and save everybody. It's amazing.
Did you think we would have been here 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we kind of were hearing about things, but we are on full lockdown realistically? Yeah. And I mean, it's not even just a case of you can't, like, you're not allowed to go to like theaters or big gatherings, that you can't really go out. Yeah. Do you think that the government was fast enough on that? Obviously, with you having such an experience around the world, you've traveled so much with your career. Do you think we've handled things right as a country?
I think, you know, what's happened is nobody understood the rate that this virus was going to mutate around the world. It's almost like we've all been caught with a big slap across our faces so quickly. We didn't even prepare ourselves to stop the fist coming to our faces to hit us. You know what I mean? It happened so quickly. And I think in situations like this, you know, you've got to just, I guess, you've got to listen to the government. We have to take our instructions by them. These are the people that are in power, and these are the people that we voted for, or not all of us might have voted for, but you know, they are in charge. We have to listen to them. So when they're saying to us, you got to stay home, we've got to listen to them. And it was really frustrating to see so many people not adhering to this and going out. And you know, we had a Mother's Day the other day, and there were so many people out in the parks, and I was getting messages from people saying, oh my God, there's just loads of people playing football and hanging out and all sorts of stuff. It's madness. And you just think, you know, guys, we've got to just stay home and just isolate right now, because the longer we fight that, the longer it's going to take for us all to come out of isolation and get back to normal lives. And I think we all want to get back to normal lives as quick as possible. So we've all got to just listen to what the government's saying and really trust in them right now. We've got to trust in them.
Yeah.
We've had a question in, and Jossie has the question, but we've had a question in, and it's the person wants to not identify themselves, but I'll let Jossie take it away.
All right, so we have a question from our audience. They wish to remain anonymous.
Okay.
They have asked, well, they've said, I can't be open about my sexuality in my job. And I commend you, Duncan, for your bravery about being able to come out when you did. Do you think that the world is more open now? And what advice do you have for somebody who is struggling?
Look, I think we live in a world where, sadly, it is still hard for people to be able to come out. You know, I remember my own personal experience. I was so frightened to let anybody know about my sexuality. I was scared, and I lived in fear every single day. When I woke up, I had the fear, and I felt physically sick thinking about people
Wow.
could expose me, or people, what are they going to say? And when I look back now, I'm so happy that I came out, and I'm so glad it happened when it happened. And actually, the world that I had created in my head, how big and how much of a huge thing it was in my own world, the reality was it wasn't such a big deal. It's like, big deal, you know, you come out, you're gay, well done, get on, you carry on with life, you get on with it, you know. And it doesn't matter what you've got going on. I know it's really hard, but I think you've got to just take that moment to think it's never going to be as bad as you imagine. The world is not going to end. You know, I know people are frightened. I know people are scared, but there's such great support systems out there. There's such great people out there, and help centers, and you know, everybody's got a friend that hopefully that they can talk to or be able to open up to and trust, which is really important. And if you haven't, there is websites, there is, like I said, there is charities that are out there that can really help. They're a voice for you to talk to and be able to have some kind of person speaking back to you to help you through it. And you know, we are coming around a lot better now in this world to accept all people of the LGBTQ plus community. And I think it's so important that we as a community put our arms around those who are frightened to come out, and to be able to, you know, say it's going to be okay. And I've been very lucky that since I've come out, I've been able to do a lot of work for different charities and organizations to help others as well. And I think that, you know, just by my little story, it's helped 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 100. I don't know how many people it's helped, but I feel great that I've been able to help somebody out there. And I think we've all got to remember we as a community have to support and help everybody, because it is tough, you know, and we don't always come out in necessarily in a way that we want to come out or how we plan it. Sometimes things happen in a different way, but we have to adapt to that. And we've got to be able to rely on our friends and our support network of people that we have in our lives to be able to lean on in those times.
Was there like a tipping point for you? Because obviously I can imagine you would have been scared. How will the fans react? How will people around me react? What will this do to me? Was there just a moment where you just kind of, not that you felt, oh, I don't care, because of course we know you care, but was there just a moment that you thought, I can't do this anymore. I need to make this change. It's going to be for the right moments.
I think for me, I felt that I'd lived a life for so many years, and it was getting to the point where I knew that for my own life choices that I had made, things were going to come out, you know. And I was to the point where, you know, if you've messed around with somebody, you live in fear that, oh, are they going to tell somebody? Are they going to go to the papers? Are they going to sell out on you? So I was having it from a different angle because I was in the public eye. So I was scared for that kind of thing. But people who are not in the public eye, they might be frightened that somebody in their workplace might expose them, or somebody might try to blackmail them and tell their secret because they are, you know, they're frightened, and somebody might want to have something over them, which is disgusting when you think about it. You know, it's disgusting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you never know what situation people are in. You never know what is going on in people's lives, what other people are doing to affect their mental health. And I think, you know, when you take the bull by the horns and you just say, this is who I am, I'm proud of who I am. If you don't like who I am, then fuck off. And if you can do that and be that strong, and then no one else can mess with you. No one can say anything to you anymore, and you all of a sudden have that power back over everybody. And all you're doing is living your own life and being true to yourself, and nobody can take that away from you.
I think what you, not only you just being yourself, but showing the different dynamics of your life, especially how open you are about your daughter. And we've read in interviews that you confided in your bandmates and your close friends. And I think that's a great example for everyone watching, especially people who have asked us questions, to see, oh, it's doable, because a lot of people see a negative thing on the telly or someone being negative and they think, oh, it's not possible. But because you're so in the public eye, to visually watch you, I mean, as a trans woman, you must be so shocked. As a trans woman, it was so great to see you in the public eye being who you wanted to be. It almost gave me, with many other influences, the ability to go, oh, well, I can do what I want to do and I can be who I want to be, and it's never going to be that bad. And I think that's amazing that you've done that. But what we've looked at as well with the LGBT and COVID-19, they've almost lost their safe places, especially going out. And some people live in complete secrecy in their actual home. And if you're isolated, well, it's going to be hard. Have you, maybe it's not yourself, but do you know friends, we certainly do, who are really struggling with even being their true self in their home?
Yeah, I do actually. And one of my really good friends is trans. And I think the trans community get an extra hard battering, unfortunately, than a lot of other people in the LGBT community, which I think is completely wrong. And I think for trans people to have a voice is amazing, but to also for people to bash them for having a voice is completely wrong. And I think, unfortunately, when the world is like it is, we're all having to go back inside. It's hard for our voices to come out. But this is why things like you're doing, this podcast, this is really great, because it is putting voices out there, and we've all got to stand strong as a community right now and help each other. And people have got to reach out to you, to me, to whoever is somebody they look up to in the public eye, or an LGBTQ advocate, and just say, I'm struggling. Can you give me some help? There's nothing wrong ever in asking people for help, and it's really important that we do, because nobody should suffer in silence. We've got to be able to talk. Find somebody that it could be a complete stranger, and sometimes it's the strangers are the people that you can talk to. And in times like this, there's lots of chat rooms. Social media is now booming because everybody's online, everybody's out there talking to people this way. So there is ways now to not feel necessarily isolated or on your own. And I think it's really important to be able to find a handful of people that you can just talk to. And right now, with mental health probably going through the roof because everybody's confined in their homes, it's even more important to be able to reach out to people and just say, look, I'm struggling. Can you help me?
But I find that there is a sense of community, even though we can't see each other. I still feel that there is a sense of community. Why not just in LGBT, but the wider humanity as a whole just seems to have more community. But for the LGBT community, I do think it must be so hard if you're at home and you can't be open. And like you say, that this is why social media can be used for good, because we can message people that or whatever. So we should use social media for good. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? It must be really hard for families right now when they're all together, say isolating together, and you don't want to necessarily let your family down because you don't want them to be upset with whatever you're going to be upset with them. They might feel that it's wrong, or their religious aspect about you being gay or whatever. So I know it must be really hard, but actually, what they're going to do, kick you out now in the streets? I mean, that's a terrible thing to say, or to think that somebody would do that in these times. So maybe now is that perfect time when you're at home, when you're with everybody, to say, I need to tell you all something, because I don't know what's going on in the world right now, but we all need to sit down as a family, and you need to help me because you're my family, and I need your help because I'm not coping great. I'm struggling. And if I don't manage to talk to you now whilst we're in isolation together, I don't know when I'm going to have that time again. So maybe this is a good time to be able to have those conversations, start to open up, come out, and start having those conversations. And you know what, if people don't like it, then it's so difficult, but you've got to just try to find your own truth.
I think now more than ever, if like a bad situation where they put the family or whoever didn't accept it, I think now more than ever as a community, there'd probably be more places for them to go and get support. More so now, especially with people almost
Yeah.
opening their homes to people. But I do agree. I believe what a great time to really connect and really face the issues. I mean, people don't realize the coronavirus is killing people. It's
Yeah.
it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, almost being able to talk and communicate is fantastic, but we also need to remember, Duncan, not get to get unhealthy. If you were to advise anyone watching on your health tips, you like to look after your body, and you've said you're cooking so much more, what would your 3 health tips in isolation be, food-wise and exercise-wise, especially in a small little house or a flat that some people do have?
Yeah. Well, every single day when I wake up in the morning, me and my mum, we have hot water and lemon. We put a little spoonful of Manuka honey in it. And then I have like a little, you know, those like Barocca tablet things you get. I just put a little half of Barocca with vitamin C basically in it. I stir it up every single morning. I'm giving myself like that because I think to myself, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm boosting myself with a bit of hot water, lemon and honey, and vitamin C, which is, I just like to think I'm trying to boost my body with vitamins and stuff. So I do that every morning. And then me and my mum are just trying to eat a bit more healthier. You know, we're trying to make foods that are a little bit more healthy wise. So the deep fat fryer, the fried food is gone. And, you know, we're eating lots of like homemade stuff like vegetables. We made a lot of homemade soups, and had a nice roast chicken yesterday, which was lovely. But I'm just trying to make healthier choices in the food I'm eating because I don't want to be eating rubbish at this time and getting myself ill. Do you know what I mean? I want to be making sure I'm boosting my body with as much vitamins and vegetables and fruits that I can right now. Because if
Were you
God
able to
forbid,
get all the food as well? Because people were stock buying. Were you able to get all your essentials, everything you needed?
we go out every 3 days and we do a little shop. We don't overly buy. We just kind of do enough for like 3 days at a time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's not fair on other people. You go in and you just start getting everything. It's not fair on the people that have nothing. So, you know, thankfully where I live, the supermarket, they have lots of fresh vegetables every day. Those are the things that are really stocked up on. The things that are not stocked up on is the pasta and the tin foods and that kind of stuff. That seems to just be gone. But saying that, I've been very fortunate to have lots of fresh vegetables and fruit every day. So I've been trying to just do that. And actually online, there's so many people now doing online fitness. This morning, Barry's Boot Camp, which is on Instagram, they're doing 12-hour live, Insta live Barry. So each 30 minutes, there's a new trainer comes on, and you can just join in by watching the Instagram and join in with the classes that people are doing it. And all they want in return is to people just donate like £1 or whatever they've got, a couple of quid to the NHS. And they're doing that every single day, which is brilliant. I joined in one of their classes today. So it gave me the opportunity to just do something because I've been feeling so unmotivated. I've been feeling so like lethargic. I've not wanted to do anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think this is the whole thing with COVID-19. It is going to end. There's going to be an end to it. When that end's going to be, nobody knows. But I don't know about yourself, but me personally, I'm starting to like miss just the little things, like just being able to go out, just being able to see Faye, being able to go and take my dogs where I want. Can't do that. But what are you missing? So what are the things from the outside world?
The real world.
The real world.
I'm actually missing seeing my partner. My partner's in lockdown in Belgium. So I'm missing seeing him because he's in another country. So Europe went into lockdown before the UK did. And then, of course, a few days later, we went into lockdown. So he's stuck there and I'm stuck here. So I'm missing him. And everything that comes with being with your partner, I miss. So, you know, cuddles and kisses and everything. You know, I'm missing all that. I miss going to the gym. I used to love going to the gym because for me, it was a place to go and just take the day's stresses out of, you know, go and have a swim or go and do some kind of gym work, which I found really good for my mental health. So I miss
swimming
ability.
so much. Swimming,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
We used to do swimming all the time.
Yeah, I miss that. I do miss that. And I miss like having the ability to just go out and see friends and stuff, you know, and having a social life, like going to a nice restaurant. We take so many things for granted. You know, it's like, what should we do tonight? Let's go to the pub, or I don't know, let's go to the Thai restaurant down the road and have a meal. And, you know, just little things that became so ordinary. And now, like, we can't do any of that stuff. So, you know, just, I think we're all going to take what's happening to COVID-19 and actually start to really appreciate the smaller things when we come out the other side of this, which is a good thing.
But how many times have you heard, oh, I wish I could spend the night in the house. I wish I could just have a weekend in the house of my own. Well, we've all got it. We all
wished for it. Look, we all wished for it. We got it.
I think as long as we've all got enough money to eat, that's all we need money for right now. You know, the government's trying to help out as much as they can. We've given us support for benefits and universal credits and helping self-employed people now, and as well as the employed people. So, you know, they are helping, so we can all have food on our plates. I know people are worried about bills and stuff going out, but I know they're helping us with mortgages. We don't have to pay rent for 3 months. So, you know, thankfully that has taken a lot of the pressure off everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
And people need to realize if their bills bounce, they bounce. No one, you know, it's the world's not going to end right now. No one's going to come knocking on your door asking for that money, you know. So I think we just got to realize for the next few months, everybody's in the same boat. And what's somebody going to do about it? There's nothing anyone can do about it. So we just all have to get on with it.
Exactly. Well, Duncan, before we go, I just wanted to ask, obviously, everything's on hold. The world is literally on hold.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you had coming out on TV or anything? Or are you going to potentially maybe go and do something like an online show or something? Are you thinking about doing anything like that? Or are you just resting because you know it's going to be insane when we can all return back to work?
Well, do you know what the funny thing was? I was in the middle of audition season at the moment. So I was going to so many auditions, and I was down to the recall of a new musical of a show that I was up for. And I had my final recall, but obviously it got cancelled. So I was a bit like, oh, what am I going to do? You know, what's going to happen? And everything is just been put on hold. Everything's been put on pause. There were some TV shows that I was meant to be filming in the summer. That's all been cancelled or been postponed. So at the moment, everything's just on hold. So, you know, until we all know what's going to happen with this virus, how it's all going to get better for us all, and how we're all going to come out the other side, whether it's 3 months or 6 months, we just have to pick up the pieces when we can. And at the moment, the most important thing to do is just try to stay healthy and try to take notice of what's going on in the world and listen to the government and just stay home and stay safe. I think that's all we can do right now.
Yeah. Absolutely agree, and we the same to you. Stay safe, Duncan, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you a little bit better. I'm sure once we're out of quarantine, we'll meet up for drinks. Yes. It'll be a grand old night. But thank you so much once again. See you later, Duncan. Bye.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, darling. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. What do I do to get...
Well, guys, what a lovely interview with Duncan. He is one of my friends I stalk, so he came on the show. But he's so fabulous, and he's so funny, and he has such a great outlook on how to be in this day and age. And I mean, he's ideal, really. We want to know what you guys thought of the show. I'm going to have a look at the comments a little bit while Jossie fills you in on... Oh, can we give any clues? Let us think. Oh my God, the Saturday show, give clues.
Oh, so we have some guests coming on Saturday, and I'm very excited about these guests. I watched this program I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's on Channel 4 and it involves dogs. It's not Crufts. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I just
I
hope
can send
to
an
God
hour
I don't
talking about
miss
dogs.
it. I hope to God I don't miss it. So I'd be barking mad too anyway.
Well,
But
yeah, well, I hope you don't, seeing you're going to be presenting it. Where are you going to be?
but guys, I have been Faye Louise. We will be back. Jossie, when are we coming back? Because I like doing these. Does everybody like our live? Because we
Well,
never really get the feedback. Do
as
you
it
enjoy our
stands,
shows? What do you want to hear from our shows next? Who do you want to see
right,
on?
okay,
Let us know.
to answer your question, as it stands, we will be back on Saturday. Might be earlier, you never know. We never know what can happen in a week. But as it stands, we will see you on Saturday.
At 6 p.m. Okay, guys, I've been Faye Louise.
And I've been Jossie Endel.
And can I just say one thing? Wow, how fit is Duncan? Okay, guys, have a lovely evening. Remember, be safe. Keep in contact with the loved ones who you usually don't see, because they are the ones that need our attention the most. And remember, thank God for the NHS, guys. Thank God.
And
Bye,
wash your
guys. Love
hands.
you loads.
Wash your hands.